Good day. WWE Elimination Chamber 2024 match card predicted. We're going to Australia, folks. That's right, to the other side of the world on the road to WrestleMania. Quite a detour between Florida and Philadelphia, if I do say so myself. The show will be taking place on February 24th. We've got 2 Elimination Chamber matches we can look forward to, which will probably determine who will be going for World Championships. And of course, on this show, we'll be celebrating the Australians in WWE, including one Rhea Ripley. I've got 7 matches I'm going to predict for you right now, and starting mentioning Rhea Ripley, let's go into her match for the Women's World Championship. She'll be defending against Nia Jax because, well, this match has been building since Nia Jax returned to WWE late last year. They've held off on the singles match. Nia Jax has been unbeaten in singles competition, so it's been perfectly built up to actually make a real credible threat for Rhea Ripley going into WrestleMania season. And also, if you look past the Royal Rumble, even this past week on Monday Night Raw, Nia Jax did attack and get the better of Rhea Ripley, so it looks like he has set this match up here for Elimination Chamber instead of Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, who also returned at the Royal Rumble, who would probably have a legitimate gripe with Rhea Ripley. It looks like she will have to wait in the meantime. But this match for me, I'm quite looking forward to it. I think it's got potential to main event the show. Of course, Rhea Ripley being from Australia, being the Women's World Champion as well. Of course, Roman Reigns not on the show, Seth Rollins not on the show. So for me, it's perfect main event potential for Rhea Ripley to headline this show. And I think she will win as well, retain the championship. Nia Jax will suffer that first singles loss. And of course, Rhea then can move on to WrestleMania. The big question will be who she will be facing. So let's talk about the first of the 2 Elimination Chamber matches that I think will be taking place on this evening. And of course, by this point, I think Bayley would have confirmed she'll be going for Io Sky after being kicked out of Damage Control. So I think that the winner of this chamber match will be taking on Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And the 6 names I've gone with, we've got 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown. From Monday Night Raw, we've got Becky Lynch, we've got Liv Morgan, and we've got Australia's own Indi Hartwell. I think she'll find a way to qualify for this chamber match, either via a battle royale or gauntlet, something just out of the blue that she can actually get herself in this match, really show herself to be the underdog, and then we can see where it can go from there. From the SmackDown side, we've got Bianca Belair, we've got Naomi, and I've got one half of the women's tag team champions, Asuka. For me, obviously, like I said now, Bayley will be going for Io Sky, which means that Asuka could go for Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw. And of course, she's got that sort of star power that really sort of rounds off the Elimination Chamber nicely. Naomi being a big return to WWE as well, I think she'll do pretty well. But I think the 2 names I think most people will be looking at expecting a victory in this match would probably be, well, actually 3 names actually: Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and of course Bianca Belair. Belair last year after WrestleMania 39 had the tease with Rhea Ripley, although I don't think it's going to happen here. Liv Morgan, we mentioned already, has a reason to go for Rhea Ripley. However, the match has been teased for what feels like almost a full calendar year as well, has been Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. I think Becky Lynch will pick up the victory. I do think she'll actually best Bianca Belair in the final 2, and I think that Becky Lynch will take on Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. And I would expect a stare down between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch at the conclusion of that match. We'll save the men's elimination chamber to the end of the video, so let's go through the rest of the card, starting with the United States Championship, a rematch from the Royal Rumble, Logan Paul going against Kevin Owens. Well, of course, KO did lose via disqualification. Brass knuckles were involved. I think this could be fascinating to do the rematch here because I don't expect it to carry over to WrestleMania. I think we'll get Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the United States Championship, so expect Logan to retain. I would like a stipulation match added to this as well. Perhaps no disqualification would be the one that makes the most sense. Therefore, if brass knuckles are used, they are legal. Let's not do brass knuckles on a pole, please. We'll follow up with the rest of the Judgment Day crew. Of course, well, Rhea Ripley's going to be in town. Of course, the rest of Judgment Day should be there as well. Let's have the tag team championships on the line against the Awesome Truth. That's right, the Miz and R-Truth. Because, well, the R-Truth and Judgment Day storyline needs to go somewhere, doesn't it? It's been playing out on WWE TV for like nearly 2 months now. So for me, I want to see a payoff. I think, well, now that R-Truth has been officially kicked out of the group after a great sort of 6-7 weeks of comedy with the Judgment Day. Now it's time to do a tag team title match. There is an argument you could do this on Monday Night Raw, but for me, I'd like to see it take place on this show because, like I say, it's an excuse for Judgment Day to take part at Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest already has money in the bank, so he does not need to be in the chamber. I've mentioned as well, him and Balor are also tag team champions right now. Dominic Mysterio, look, he needs to be on this show in some capacity. He was meant to take on Brock Lesnar until, well, that changed. And JD Madonna, well, he's had issues with Truth as well, so expect Mysterio and JD Madonna to be at ringside. If I had to make a prediction, I would probably go with the Judgment Day to retain, although I think it would be pretty darn cool if Awesome Truth won, for R-Truth to get the last laugh, because I do have a feeling we will get a breakup with the Judgment Day in the near future. I still don't rule out Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania, perhaps even with Dominic Mysterio being involved as well. But so if that was to happen, I think a title change would make sense here. But for me, as I say, it's kind of Judgment Day's pay-per-view, it feels, this year. Of course, Rhea Ripley, hometown coming as well. You want things to kind of go right for her on the night, so I would say the Judgment Day would retain here. Now, earlier in the video, I put Asuka in the Women's Elimination Chamber, so I'm guessing what's Kairi Sane going to do? Well, as I said, Bayley has been kicked out of Damage Control at this point, so a match that's nearly 4 years in the making. Bayley versus Kairi Sane, because in the pandemic, Bayley sent Kairi packing back to Japan, out of WWE during that period, and of course, well, Kairi actually returned at Crown Jewel last year, not to go against Bayley, but to be aligned in Damage Control. And now that Bayley's no longer in the group, the time is right to do that match. Of course, Bayley winning the Royal Rumble this year, she's already punched her ticket to a championship match at WrestleMania against Io Sky, so why not go through other members of Damage Control in the meantime? We've seen Bayley versus Asuka count of times before. We haven't seen Bayley versus Kairi Sane in the singles match for a long time, especially since this storyline took place where she wrote Kairi off of WWE TV. So for me, I'd like to see it. I think it could be a fun one. You've got Dakota Kai at ringside as well with Kairi Sane. Boo, she's from New Zealand. Could be the biggest heel of the night. But yeah, for me, I think there'd be a fun one, and Bayley would pick up the victory. From one Royal Rumble winner to another, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. I believe he will choose Roman Reigns. Yes, Seth, you tried to get him to pick your championship. As great as the promo work was between the two of them, unfortunately, it's not going to make the World Heavyweight title look like the stronger title. Roman is always the choice to finish the story, and as Cody's going to do that, he's going to need to start feuding with the Bloodline once again. And well, he could have a simple singles match with Jim Uso. That could make a lot of sense in one way. Of course, Cody was the person who initiated the trade to Monday Night Raw for Jey Uso instead of Kevin Owens. But I've gone for a tag team match because, well, where Jimmy goes, Solo goes as well to get the job done. Roman trusts both of them to put Cody out. Well, we could get a tag team reunion for that reason. Let's have Cody Rhodes team with Randy Orton, Legacy reunited for one night only, because Randy Orton has got issues with Solo Sikoa. The fact that, well, Randy could have been the WWE Undisputed Champion by now if it wasn't for Solo Sikoa at the Rumble. It makes perfect sense for me to do this tag team match. We could see Legacy, if you want, picking up the victory, Cody and Randy Orton. Jimmy Uso is there to take the fall, and of course that way then we can build Randy versus Solo for WrestleMania. Cody can go on to Roman, and well, Jimmy's going to need to get revenge in a different way, perhaps on somebody else. And maybe that somebody else could be in the men's Elimination Chamber match, which is the final match I'm going to put forth. And of course, since Cody is going for Roman, the winner of this chamber match will be going for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Of course, CM Punk no longer eligible after picking up the injury at the Rumble, the tricep injury that's going to roll him out for, well, it looks to be up to 6 months according to PW Insider. So for the 6 superstars, I've gone for the Elimination Chamber. For the men's side, I have gone with Drew McIntyre. Of course, he's the one that seems to have most to gain at this particular time. I've gone with Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. You just got to have that big pop. The way that Jey is with the crowd, I think would be a great start, just like we saw similar to the Royal Rumble. I've gone with Bronson Reed, of course, Australia's own Bronson Reed, to be in the chamber. Makes a lot of sense to me. And of course, well, from the SmackDown side, because it's free and free once again, AJ Styles, LA Knight. Of course, they've been feuding with one another currently on TV. They can do their feud one more time, but this time inside the chamber with everybody else to try and get that championship opportunity. And last but not least, again, an outside bet for it is Grayson Waller, because, well, we could have a Grayson Waller effect. I think the biggest Grayson Waller effect during the Elimination Chamber. However, I think it would be more fun to see him in the chamber trying to get a championship opportunity in front of his home nation. As for who would win, well, LA Knight and AJ Styles, of course, again, would cancel each other out. Neither could see the other one succeed. Grayson Waller, as great as it is for the Australian to be in the chamber, same with Bronson Reed, I don't see either of them coming out with a victory. That means it comes down to Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. Of course, Drew has been, well, cost an opportunity at big things before due to the bloodline. Well, this time I think he will overcome Jey Uso, and that is going to be because of the bloodline. I think Jimmy Uso will stop Jey getting that championship opportunity at WrestleMania, and that can lead to Jey versus Jimmy, and Drew can move on to go against Seth freaking Rollins one more time for the championship at WrestleMania, actually filling CM Punk's boots. And as a quick disclaimer, I've not featured Gunther in this match. Gunther would be a shoe-in choice for the Elimination Chamber. However, I do not believe he is allowed to leave the United States at present, so therefore he cannot be featured in the Australian show, and for that reason he probably will not be going for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania unless they don't use the Elimination Chamber as the stipulation to make the challenger for Seth Rollins, which for me I think would be a big mistake. So that's the match card I think will happen at Elimination Chamber 2024. Let me know what card you think will happen in the comments below. And also, do you like the sound of this card? Are the matches to your taste? Would you like to see something different? Let me know right now. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. There will be Elimination Chamber predictions. There will be a retro series on the channel as well. So plenty of Elimination Chamber content coming to this channel in the month of February. Thanks for watching. Look after yourselves and each other, and if you want to see more videos right now, then check out the side of the screen here on this video. Take care. I'll see you next time here on YouTube.